Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Science Forever. Today, I have a 6v6 custom match here on the most amazing Nukes map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players, starting off with Team 1 in the north and ending with Team 2 in the south. Starting off with Team 1's Eastern player, we have an Imperial Gray. It is Clipped My Wings. He is an Aeon. He is a 1700. He is tied for the highest ranked player on Team 1 and in the game overall, and maybe we'll see him fly, maybe we won't. To his southwest we have is the Dulatha, I think is how you say it. He is a Cybran. He is in Barbie Pink. He is a 1200. In glow in the dark green to his northwest is Son of Ibis. He is a Seraphim for this match as a 1400, again in glow in the dark green. In orange, color orange to his southwest is the Man with Beans. Maybe he will have some gaseous explosions. Maybe he is a Cybran. He is a 1600. And to his west in Sevi Crimson, we have Smithers. He is an Aeon. He is a 1700. He is tied with his teammate of Clip My Wings for the highest rated player, not only on his team, but in the game overall. And last but not least for Team 1 in Stitch Blue is Melon Pippin Collie. He is a UEF for this match as a 1300. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have at least one of each of the factions, but they have 2 Cybrans and 2 Aeons, which means they have 1 Seraphim and 1 UEF. Starting off with Team 2's southeastern player, we have in Ruby Red, it is CM Nicholas. He is a Cybran for this match as a 1600. He is the highest rated player on Team 2. To his northwest, we have in not Light Oak 10, but Tropical Ocean Blue. I think that is his customary color. It is Darth Sand. He is a 1400 as a Cybran. In Forest Green, he is another Cybran. It is Hyper 2001. He is a 1300. Don't know why I'm confusing my colors this game. To the northwest, we have in Pac-Man Yellow Twitchy Mofo as a 1400 as a Cybran as well. To his west, we have in Lightest Red Pink Rekather as a Seraphim, breaking the mold so far for Team 2. He is a 1500. And last but not least for Team 2 on the western edge of the map, it is the Snow White player of Brrrrr 6516. He is a 1400 as the only UEF for Team 2. So for Team 2 side of the match, they have 4 Cybrans in the east with a Seraphim and a UEF to the west. And for these 12 players on the map, before they scoop it all up, let's take a look at the reclaim situation. They have currently sitting at 26,000 mass in reclaim, which makes it over 2k mass per player. There's a lot of it dotted around the map, but there's a decent clump of it in the middle, as I mean most maps definitely to be expected. 1400 there, and then another 700 to the west as well. Players, of course, going for their early mechs expansions. We have a Trimex position in the east for Team 2, as well as one in the middle and one in the west. There's a couple of set of mechs in the middle with some one-ups dotted in the background. I don't see any other high-density mechs locations, so realistically, of course, large clumps of mechs is obviously good to grab and, of course, try to deny for their opponents. We do see a little bit of chunk of Navy here in the middle as well. We see the early beginnings of it, a couple of slivers having some disagreements about color schemes. It is the Cybran player of Twitchy Mofo on Team 2 versus Team 1's orange color orange player of the Man with Beans. And we'll see who ends up winning there. In the west, it's looking like a 1v1 here between Marilyn Peppencoli and Blarg. And then it's going to be Smithers versus Rekather in the Midwest. In the East, it's a 1v1 scenario. Actually, no, scratch that. 2v1 scenario in favor of Team 2 of Hyper 2001 assisting Darth Sand versus Dulatha. And then it's Clip My Wings versus CM Nicholas. So pretty much everybody has their own lane. Besides, looks like Hyper 2001. His opponent, or his mirror, I should say, of Son of Ibis, still in his main base. He's most likely going to be an air player. He's already going for T2 air, so that definitely would veer in that direction. So while his opponent is on the front line, he is in the back line, probably more for build power and trying to scale his eco just a little bit more tightly than going for a gun upgrade that we see that Hyper 2001 has gone for. And it looks like... Wait, did it... Oh, we do see an upgrade started for Darth Sand, but it's been paused immediately. Maybe why it didn't show up on screen, because it just was... There it goes. It was paused immediately. Still started here for Hyper, and then Dulatha going for his gun. We see gun in the west for Rekather. We should be seeing guns shortly for these western players as well. One of them's going to start in here shortly, I would imagine. I would not be surprised in that way, one or the other. Especially in a 1v1 lane like this, you at least going to want to have gun. Or if your Aeon's at least range, especially how big the map is. Speed, usually if, of course, players and units are right up on your front door. But in a map like this, definitely range would be a little bit more beneficial as the first upgrade. We haven't seen any upgrades started for any of the Aeons, so who knows what's going to happen. Maybe they'll go for sensor package. Who knows? And look, Gunna started in the west for Melon. Nano repair also started for Dart Sensor. He's just going straight for that nano gun comm in the Cybern Tech. Same thing with Hyper. So these guys going for full gun commage, which might indicate that once the upgrades are done, they're going to full assault Team 1's Dullahan. Maybe try to push him back here. Torpedo started for the main with Beans in the Navy. And his opponent of, who is that? That's Twitchy. Has not gone for any upgrades. In the west, Blarg rooted to the spot on a T2 upgrade, being assailed by the forces of Melon. Melon not sending his comm in because he's rooted to spawn on the gun. I feel like he probably should have waited to send his comm in because he probably would have done a lot of damage, maybe forced the upgrade to stop. But again, if he had not, if he had waited to go for the upgrade, then T2 would obviously be done. So there's a, rock in a hard place where do you go for it? Do you cancel your own upgrade? Do you wait? Do you not wait? So there's, of course, arguments for both in that regard. And we do see T2 started in the middle for, who's that? That is Smithers. Nobody has died as of yet. It is a 12v12. Not 12v12. That'd be insane. But a 6v6. It is rare that we see games like this with this many players last to 20 minutes with no one dying. But we'll see. First comm-on-comm action has occurred in the east between the gun nanocom of Dullahan and the gun nanocom of Darth Sand. And we do see those forces for Darth Sand are pushing in. Team 1 is being overwhelmed. We do see Hyper bringing up the rear to assist as well. Not pushing in at the exact same time, but of course he'll be able to help at least cement Team 2's position in that Trimix position. In the west, we see now the comm of Melon Pippin Collie is moving in. A couple of T2 PD have been built, and more of them are being built as we speak. So it's going to be the gun comm of the UEF versus the T2 comm of the UEF. And I think that gun comm is going to win. A lot of forces have been spanned up. There's actually a decent amount of forces to the east here that are just waiting to be given orders for Blarg. Blarg is actually being surrounded, and I think I'm going to split things just at a brief moment so we make sure we don't miss anything in the fields of war or theaters of war. Darth Sand over there, and of course Blarg over here. Blarg actually being surrounded by this many forces hasn't actually taken that much damage. He is almost at 1-star veterancy. Melon is working his way to 1-star. Dullahan has dropped into about half-ish his hit points. And Hyper 2001, a fresh comm now on the field. But Darth Sand pretty much, repped up back to full HP at this point. Looks like Hyper might actually go for the kill here. Again, there is a Cerberus PD, but that's a tickle cannon that's not really worth its weight in gold in any means, but in sort of the damage that it can do. It's really good at Team 1 units. Besides that, nothing too much. But while we see the attack against the western side against Blarg, we did see that Recruiter sent his forces in to the north, or at least the northwest, to just pull all, or at least most of the attention away from that attack on Blarg. But Dullahan still being forced back. A couple of rocket bots nearby for Hyper 2001. He's going to go for the kill, it looks like. And I think that attack in the west is kind of just petered out at this point. Not really a lot of crazy things happening at this point. There are some units that did get by those intercepting forces for Melon, but I think they'll be caught here shortly. We do see Son of Ibis moving in to assist, and Dullahan did get out of range just barely. Hyper 2001 back up into the yellow because of that veterancy. And it looks like he's also back up into the yellow as well. We do see now a fresh comm of Darth Sand subbing in for Hyper 2001. So I love the boop that happened right there. Like, you couldn't walk straight for 2 seconds and then go right. Darth Sand, you had to boop me before you leave kind of thing. Couple of gunships also online for Clip My Wings. Going to be a little bit more annoying to deal with. He has some swift wings and interceptors nearby. And Darth Sand underneath, not a super amount of damage, but just enough to be a little bit annoying to deal with, especially when he has no AA nearby. He has some interceptors inbound, which should at least kill off one of the gunships and take the damage he's dealing to half what he's been currently dealing with. And some ASFs will take those gunships out quite nicely as well. Again, no real concern in terms of air fighting. Again, it's only 13 minutes. No one's going to cement their dominance in air this early in the game. So if a couple of ASFs die, it's not the end of the world. Destroyers online for Team 2. Team 1 going full subs. Look at all these slivers online. That's a lot of damage there. Most of the weapons on board the units for Team 2 aren't going to be as effective. There are, of course, torpedoes on most of them currently, but the strap bomber inbound for naval units, I mean, it takes out 4 units. Is it the most effective thing you probably use that for? No, but he took out some pressures. That's something. But I just think it could have been used maybe over here, which he is doing now. Takes out all the AA and the facility. Doesn't clip the comm, but it sure takes out all the engineer support. Interceptor trying to catch up. Is doing some damage, but not enough. Blarg trying to fight his way back up onto land, but it looks like he's just trying to get out of there. He has some Titans online to help us cement that. A couple of bombers over top annoying him, but excuse me, nothing too crazy. They got the hiccups or something in my throat for a second. That was a fun thing to deal with. It's like, again, you have that sneeze and you want to sneeze, but your body doesn't want to sneeze, and it's like, and it's really annoying. That's kind of what happened to me, but like sometimes air just gets trapped in my throat. It's not great. It's not a fun thing. I don't know if anybody else experiences that, but it's like a burp, but it's not a burp, but it's a hiccup, but it's not a hiccup. It's kind of like a burpy hiccup, I guess what I would describe it as. I don't know. My body's weird. Anyway, northeastern side here, Son of Ibis now going for his gun upgrade. He'll probably go for stealth. Nope, he is a Seraphim. Never mind, he has T2 on board. Never mind. There's a lot of Cyberns in the game, so assumptions and whatnot. There are 6 Cyberns, so Telemazer is most definitely on the cards. A couple of units do get by Team 2's defenses. They don't go super into, looks like, who is that? That's Twitchy Mofo's facilities, but does take off at least 1 max. It's 6 mass a second. Nothing too crazy, but it is a little bit of loss in mass income. Team 2 at 667, Team 1 at 613, so about 50 mass in favor of Team 2. Nothing that breaks the bank for Team 1, but the trend is definitely concerning, not the lead that has been brewing so far. It looks like the leaders in that are Clip My Wings for Team 1 and Rector for Team 2. They're not exactly the same positions, but they're roughly in the back line. But one is air player, one is land player. So there is that kind of diverging in terms of eco and AP and whatnot. Anyway, speaking of Clip My Wings, he's going for a T2 upgrade. So we'll see if he builds some Oblivion PD on that eastern side. It looks like Dullaha has regained his Trimax position. Team 2 has fallen back. Definitely a position that Team 2 was not going to keep very long, especially that far forward, and Navy right next door. It was brewing for a snipage at some point if somebody was going to stay there for too long, so it's good to see that those 2 comms for Team 2 have fallen back, which, again, means that most likely this will be a game that no one dies before 20 minutes. Maybe we'll see one where it doesn't die before 30 minutes, but who knows? And I didn't point this out, but it can be seen on the scoreboard. Everybody on Team 2 is part of the FC clan. So I'm assuming this is a match between known personages, not necessarily just a random custom game. Most likely everybody either knows one another, which definitely explains why there's not that much conversation in chat. There's a little bit, but it's not a whole lot. We did see some missiles outbound from Smith. Oh, no, that's a TML. Never mind, I thought that was his comm. But he's Aeon. He has a TML. It's actually done a decent damage, 1,600 mass killed. And he's taken out a couple of mexes, but we do see some Team D being built that will derail that sort of missile launch nonsense. Advanced Regen, not going for Nano here for Rekather. He built a lot of Ilshis. Ilshis can't go in the water, but man, are they annoying. And again, the one thing I will say about the Ilshis, they look like they walk backwards. Their arms should be facing the other way. Even the knees, the way they're shaped, look weird because they should be moving the other way. But again, I do love the design. I think the devs really did a great job with a lot of the designs for the Seraphim, especially, of course, the bomber, which I think most people know when I say the bomber what I'm talking about. We have a couple of destroyers in the water facing off against a couple of destroyers in the water. It's all about numbers. and if the units are moving or not, which actually does make a difference, at least a little bit. And it looks like just the numbers is favoring Team 2, which if it does go all the way to the naval headquarters, which we do see a T3 one online for Clipped My Wings, so he's gotten to the Navy, and he's going for those aircraft carriers. See, I want to say those are Omens, but they look like no, those are Omens. Those are not the missile ships. The missile ships have a thinner frame, would be the way to put it, on the image for the unit being built. They just look like the aircraft carrier. I don't know why. There's something about the way they did the sides. He's building another one. Okay, just for some reason anyway, it just looks like the aircraft carrier. In the west, Melon running into some Titans. Ooh, first departure of the game. Melon actually control Ks, doesn't give the kill over to Blarg, but it was going to be given to him anyways because I think he walked into it by accident most likely. That's going to hurt. So this game does have no kills before 20, but it does not have no kills before 30. He is the first departure of the game, giving this game now a 5v6 players left vibe, just because that's how many players are left. We do see some artillery units online for Team 1. Yeah, there's a couple of trebuchets in there going after a radar system that's not been hit yet, and multiple shots have been thrown at it. So accuracy, of course, is not super great when it comes to artillery, but that is the downside. It's a long-range unit that doesn't have the best accuracy. So is it the best? No, but it's better than nothing. The attack against Team 1's naval factories, naval shipyards, not super great for Team 2, especially with the now new battleship online and soon to be a second one. So we see Team 1's northeastern air player transition into Navy, which wouldn't have expected that, but I do like to see it. And then we have, of course, the main air player, and then another one over here to the west. So the actual 3 air players for Team 1. And we do see a couple of torp bombers running around for Clip My Wings as well. Team 2 has 1, 2, and 3. So they also have 3. And that is a land facility. But we'll see. There's not, again, the other air players being mainly, a little bit of a grid, a little bit more of a grid, and the main grid. There's definitely a primary and secondary and tertiary, but there's no, all of them are building about the same amount of air. So I would not expect, or would be surprised to see if everybody keeps their own ASFs and not give them over to somebody. It is Seraphim, Aeon, and Aeon, so at least 2 of the 3 air players of the same tech. Team 2, it's Seraphim, Cybrin, and Cybrin, so same situation down there. And it's just so that way you can double-click your ASFs and select them all instead of hitting Control-A and selecting ASFs. It's probably a hotkey for something, but Rekethar is going to go down to all these gunships from Team 1's Withers, so he'll drop it to a 5v5 game. And we see the Ilshi launching an attack on Smithers' comm at the same time. Unfortunately, there is a lot of support inbound, and now when those gunships are dealt with the comm, coming back to assist the comm, and I think it's going to be enough. So, unfortunately for Team 2, they don't get the counter kill they wanted, and of course, units being transferred over doesn't help. ASF's a little bit too late to the party, unfortunately. Not enough to save the comm, but maybe get some revenge at a minimum. Smithers still has some Ilshis he has to worry about. They should be coming into range here shortly, but they're going after, of course, anything else nearby. They should be in range now. They're just not targeting the comm. And we'll see if the comm... Oh, he only has T3 and sensors, but he has enough overcharge to one-tap these Ilshis. Okay, there we go. They're all focusing on him now. He's dropping hit points pretty quick. He wants to get in the water, but I don't know if he'll make it. He does get a rank inveteracy. That might be enough to save him. And there's some units coming up to chase him. So the target priority on the Ilshis is not the comm. Oh, he tried to reclaim for a second. That's annoying. But I think he might be able to get away due to the fact that the Ilshis are not targeting the comm directly. So pretty close to death there, but he does make it out of there. On the eastern side of things, in terms of Navy, Team 2 is pushing back with now pseudo-naval units. They aren't the hovers. They are the underneath the surface of the water units of the Wagners. And the comm is actually helping out quite a lot with that, being the torpedo comm that Beans is. But we also see some torpedo-capable units in the east in the form of bricks. Not as annoying as their big brother of the megalith with the nonsense of HP and whatnot. But bricks are still annoying in Navy at a minimum. And the Omen class does not have torp defense or even torpedoes on board, so completely vulnerable to these bricks. There are some cruisers nearby, also don't have torp defenses, but we do see the Exodus does have torps and torp defenses. But now we see the Wagners are in the mixer, and the man with beans, again, slowly losing hit points, but still losing them. He only has stealth. Definitely, if you're going to be in the water, at least go for the regular nano. And, of course, if you're the Seraphim, I mean, you might as well just go for the advanced nano. But at least going for nano is important. I mean, he's not dropping that many hit points, but he's about to tick over into the yellow, and that's not super great. Yep, there he goes. And it's giving a lot of momentum for Team 2's actual naval units. There, of course, is still an Omen online back here, and there's soon to be... No, those are Exodus. Those are not battleships. Which in this scenario, you would want battleships because they have torpedoes on board. Or you could just go for Vespers. Vespers actually probably would be a better choice because they are designed to go after stuff in the water. So those are the T2 sub-hunters, not the sub-killers, because Barracudas have to be different. For whatever reason, don't know why. They have to be named differently. Western side, things have died down, obviously, due to the fact that Melon has been killed off. A lot of that focus on the western side has been taken off, allowing Bloric to at least recuperate a little bit and get his eco up and running. Of course, Nicholas now at over 700 mass income due to that dual base from Rekather, and Team 1's Clip My Wings is also at 700 due to not only the gifting over of the base from the death of Melon, but also Smithers gave everything over to him as well. So essentially he's been quote-unquote knocked out of the game. So Team 1's northeastern player of Clipped My Wings has 3 ecos, or 3 base eco under his belt. So lots of potential for possible early artillery pieces maybe. He's going for a lot of air grid expansion, but we could see something like that. Anything in the west. Colossi spam. So that is possible. And SMD is being built. Love to see that. 26 minutes on the clock. Team 1 and Team 2 at 5 players left. Team 1 lost Melon, Pippin Colley first, and then Rekather was lost on Team 2 side of things. Eco situation, Team 2 is still in the lead. The lead has extended to about 152. That's 200 mass for sure. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. As always, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And on a note for my mobile setup, I'm not currently using it right now, but I did order that laptop that I said I was going to order, or at least I did order one. I actually spent a little bit more money than I probably should have, but I got a 4050 in that laptop, so that should be enough for at least a while in terms of mobile. So that should make those casts when I do travel for work a lot better in terms of quality and whatnot. But I don't get it till about next week or so, and I'm not traveling for work for at least another week, maybe 2 weeks. So that should be enough time to get that laptop up and running. Hopefully get all the kinks ironed out and then hit the ground running. Anyway, so again, thank you so much for those who have been patient with me. I know those mobile videos have been super great in terms of audio quality, some videos, or video quality, some videos, but I do appreciate the patience, so thank you for that. And hopefully this new computer will be a lot better. So I'm going from a 1060 to a 4050, so it's going to be a decent jump. Now we have a chicken over here to the west here for Team 2, being protected by a heck ton of flak, with an airfight over here between main air players of Nicholas and Clipped. There are some ASFs inbound from Son of Ibis to help out, but they go over to the flak for some coverage. And again, those ASFs are actually slowly being whittled away by the going in and going out and going in and going out of the ASFs from Team 1. There is some AA down here for CM Nicholas as well, so that has helped kind of even out a little bit. But, ooh, the gunships go in again. Well, the ASF going again to the gunships, but again, those restores are not great in terms of dealing with them, as ASF numbers are low. So ASFs are transferred over to Nicholas, so he'll get a little bit more boost in numbers there, but definitely wouldn't warrant going there just yet. The AA on board the restorers are no joke, so definitely a concern there with the restore ball growing for Team 1, and he's just not stopping producing those things. Because why would you? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Chicken in the west, of course, is still an issue. Team 1 was building a Colossus somewhere. It's almost done, but it's not going to be there in time to maybe save Blarg's base. It'll definitely save the base that once belonged to Smithers, which maybe he'll transfer that back over. He's still in the game. He's not, you know, AFK or anything. He's still alive, but I think he just wanted to transfer everything over to his teammate to help out. We do see the attack once again by Team 1, and it looks like that's going to be an air win. Not air dominance yet. It's a lot of gunships. Usually I don't count gunships in the ASF quote-unquote totals. There's not a lot of AA here, and Team 1's naval forces are getting into the facilities now for Team 2, so that's not great. And the restorers are now completely free to just go after whatever they want. Team 2 does not have the ASFs remaining. Sending them in 1s and 2s is not going to work. T3 Mex is being knocked out for the naval player of Tuchimilfo is going to essentially lock out Navy for Team 2. And we see 3 players in Navy now for Team 1. They're putting a lot of emphasis on this. And they can't target everything on Team 2's side, but at least 3 main sections of their bases, or bases themselves, definitely can be targeted. In the west, gunships are inbound. There's an artillery piece almost into the green, and I hate to say this, Nicholas, that artillery piece not going to live much longer. Fortunately here for him, though, all of the restorers are targeting the engineers, so that is buying a little bit of time for that gunship. But I keep saying gunship for that artillery piece, which actually that might be enough to save the artillery piece, because a lot of flak has been built, some T3 and T2. I do love the mix there. Getting a little single target damage versus some AoE spread. And the air-to-ground weapons on board the restorers are not great. Yeah, all of the build power pretty much has been knocked out, but the artillery piece will be fine, and pretty much all of the gunships have been dealt with. That's a lot of reclaim there from those restorers. The restorers are not cheap, same with broadswords and whalers. So getting a decent amount of those right next to your artillery piece, very, very nice. There are some ASFs inbound. We're trying to help dealing with some trickling ASFs from Team 2. There's still some flak units online. I know I should probably not be solely distracted by this. They're saying target the P-gens, kill P-gens, says Smithers. There are some lightning tanks inbound. Too late, and the gunships are knocked out. Lots of mass to scoop up from that. And we do see that chicken went somewhere. Chicken was defeated, but it looks like it did kill off at least the Colossus, so 1v1 trade there, but it does give, again, mass for Team 1. Smithers over here to the east, going to be hit by 2 chickens for Team 2. He escaped that the first time. It came for him the second time, and it grabbed a kill. So that is now a second kill for Team 2, dropping this game to a 4v5 in Team 2's favor once again. And that, of course, will give the rest of whatever Smithers had to Team 1's Clip My Wings, which I don't think is actually anything, because everything else is destroyed or already handed over, one or the other. More restorers inbound. Again, a second group, but not as big as the first one. They're going to target the chicken. Of course, they're probably going to try to go for the T3 naval headquarters. There's one omen here, and not really anything else. It looks like a lot of reclaim for all the scoopage of the units. Actually, Corsairs tried to come in, got wiped out by the ASS from Son of Ibis. And more P-gens. Nothing too crazy here for Team 1 on that side. More air grid. Colossi, more P-gens. Monkey Lord spam. Chicken v Colossus fight. Only going to go one way, especially with the store assisting. So this chicken has been killed off. There's one omen over here. No, one off them, but going to get wiped out by the omen. So it looks like long-range artillery is going to be the main target of priority for Team 1, because it's almost done. And again, lots of reclaim around it. And if he doesn't have the mass in his bar, well, nope, never. Okay, scratch what I just said. He has enough for it, so he just needs literally the build power to build it. So that is the, not to say it is somewhat a measurable value or quantity in this game in terms of mass, power, resource. Build power is that kind of third untrackable one. I mean, like I said, it is, but it isn't. Where if you don't have the ability to spend your mass and your energy, what's the point in producing infinite energy? Or, as the example goes, infinite energy but nothing to spend it with, kind of pointless to almost have it at that point. Air grid, of course, not really being expanded now at this point, and transitioning into artillery pieces anyways. Mass Fab farming in the south for Hyper 2001. Gunships are inbound. That headquarters is dead. No ifs, ands, or buts about that. One cruiser is not going to be enough, and that will win Team 1 Navy at 35 minutes on the clock. So while Team 2 is going for more long-range weapons in almost both corners, but not necessarily both corners, Team 1's going still for the more traditional, air quotes, fighting. And we do see, of course, that restore ball is dangerous. Look at all those missiles flying off those things. And they're just eating those eating those ASF alive. And of course, as we've seen in recent games, as recent as I think a couple of weeks ago is the match I'm thinking about, Cybran ASFs are not the best. They are actually the worst in the game. So they're just, it's just the way that their damage is dealt, essentially, is why they're the worst. And the artillery piece is now done for Team 2's CM Nicholas, but like I said, they're fine. Again, ASFs are better than no ASFs, but I think some of you will agree that I'd rather have literally any other ASF other than Cybran. So that's just kind of the situation. But we see the gunships now wiping out literally everything in the water. The 2 battleships are still alive, though, so that's something. They're wiping out actual clumps of engineers at a time. There is that line of AA being built by Hyper 2001, trying to protect his stuff, and he's built more and more and more around him as well. Artillery piece going after the unshielded air grid to the northwest. The nuke has been shielded, though. That's lovely to see, and it looks like that's what Team 2 is targeting. Make missile ships, says Smithers. Yes, make missile ships. Looks like he lost his T3 naval headquarters, actually. Don't see it anymore, so it looks like it was wiped out at some degree. Apologies for missing that, but Team 1 is 1 Navy anyway, so there is that. There goes that battleship, and the Eye of the Galaxy is going to go down here shortly. Gunships, again, still running amok for Team 1, but there's been a lot of AA deployed, and if they turn around in time, that could be enough. Smithers says Sam's saying don't go there. And ASF's, again, not going to be worth it in small numbers. Really need a huge clump of them to really affect the restore counts. A couple of Colossi running around for Team 1's airplay of Clip My Wings, and I feel like he probably should give over his gunships or his land units to somebody else just so that he can micro air or micro land a lot better. Trying to do both at the same time is not as effective as it could be if somebody just handles everything on one side and then handles it on the other. But Twitch Mofo underneath some naval bombardment gets out of the water but will die. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. There he goes. Donates as much mass as he can. It's the Blarg and then dies. It's now a tied game once again. So essentially shot for shot. Team 2 gets a kill. Team 1 does. And then Team 2 gets a kill, and then Team 1 gets another one. Monkey contested. That's the word for it. Uncontested from Team 1. It's going to wipe out the remainder of Twitchy Mofo's base. Eco still in favor of Team 2 by a large margin, 2.1k mass versus 1.5, and that nuke might change things. Nuke is going for this frontline base here. There's nothing to defend it. Lots of PD. This will actually open up the land invasion for Team 1. There are 3 Colossi moving into position, and by the time the nuke lands, they'll be completely, there, essentially, or out of the way or whatnot. There is a Fat Boy over here, and there is an artillery piece being built. SMD also is almost loaded, so Team 1 could have gone for that. SMD not loaded, SMD not loaded, so that artillery piece also could have been targeted. And then the one in the corner was loaded, so that wasn't going to work. But kaboom! Takes out everything here. All those PD have been wiped out. There are some forces remaining. There soon be no forces remaining for Team 2, because those restorers will wipe out Team 1 units like it's going out of style, and those other T3s are not going to be there for much longer. There are some lightning tanks for Team 1 to worry about, but there is enough to just overwhelm them. The only problem is how many gunships is he going to lose in that time frame, and he's not really wanting to take that a huge chunk in loss. There hasn't really been a not a confirmed, but a solid air victor. Team 1 sitting at that 80. That looks like 85, but that doesn't seem like 85 gunships. No. That's 86 gunships for Team 1. That's a lot. And then 32 ASFs. And then Son of Ibis has 60 ASFs. Team 2, CM Nicholas sitting at 89 ASF. Ooh, that's not great in terms of numbers. And then a couple of ASFs for Team 2's Hyper 1001. But those gunships, that's very dangerous. They are inbound and they are hungry. And they are going to go for a chicken most likely. If not, just go for the artillery piece built by CM Nicholas. That is a lot of them. Look at just them ripping all those ASFs apart. There's not enough of them from Team 2. And Team 1 will just win the fight with gunships at this point. Again, there is AA to be concerned about. So it's not a immediate air win for Team 1. But it's definitely concerning at a minimum for Team 2. Gunships targeting the chicken. I mean, they could be targeting the artillery piece, but again, there has been AA deployed for a little bit, and there's more being deployed all the time. So the window is closing, and I think the window will close very, very soon. The guided flak from the Seraphim side of things, very, very effective. It's not like the missiles on the SAM sites for everybody else's T3 AA. It is, it will hit things. It will not feel good, and just not a good time. But there is land invasion inbound though from Team 1. So if they're not going to win it on the air side of things, they're going to win it on the land side of things. And the artillery piece for Blarg is almost done, and the artillery piece for Sam Nicholas is underway, but not near completion. Lasers are not going to be enough to stop the lasers from Team 1's Colossi. And now PD swapped out for AA. All the gunships are dead, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save that artillery piece by any means. It's just not enough. Team 2 just doesn't have anything on the ground to really affect this. Even if they kill one of them off, there's one completely healthy and one not so healthy, but still. Those pigeons are dead. Everything else is dead. And it's just not a good day for Nicholas on this western side. There are some Corsairs inbound trying to help, and it's not going to do that much. They should have just targeted one unit and then gone after the other one. I know they wanted to split a little bit of the damage, but you might as well just kill one of them off and be done with it. But the southeastern corner being a little bit more impregnable for Team 1 to deal with than the western side. And of course, there is a land connection that's able to hook in around to the artillery piece that's now online for Blarg. There's now a Monkey Lord online, but he's walking into a lot of purses. Those purses are moving in to go after said Colossi. Team 1 doesn't have any doesn't say anti-air, but ASFs or gunships in range, and that Monkey Lord just gets wiped out immediately. Doesn't get a chance to live. Colossi are moving in this back way. The Perseus, there we go. They have to turn around immediately. Corsairs have taken out, looks like one of those Colossi, but there's still two more remaining. And it looks like they might be turned away. And the ASFs and gunships are here from Team 1. There's a lot of flak here. There's not a lot of shields, though. They are targeting the SMD. That's definitely a good target. The restorers can actually get underneath the shielding, but they get wiped out immediately. And it was a good attempt, but not enough. And now the, not Perseus, but the Colossi will move eastward. There's two crabs over here as well for Hyper 2001, so not an easy fight. We'll go Team 2's way. Strap Bombers inbound. They do get spotted by Team 2's CM Nicholas's ASF. And don't actually... Oh, they were trying to get in, like, all the way behind them. But it looks like the Bombers didn't even get a chance to drop any payloads. So that artillery piece for him will be fine. Artillery piece in the east is almost done. And, of course, it's a huge reclaim field down here. Team 2 will try to want to go after it immediately. There are some Colossi. 428,000 mass on the field. And essentially all of it is on the southern half of the map. So Team 2 has a lot of reclaim to scoop up. And Team 1 is caught up in the mass income department due to the huge loss in 2 bases for Team 2. But of course, reclaim situation. Actually, Team 1 is doing way better. 371,000 versus 214. They're doing very well in that regard. In terms of total mass, though, 3 million versus 2.75. So still in favor of Team 2, but actually not that far behind the Team 1. Nuke online also for, who's that? That is the man with beans. This one is still online, killed out 51,000 so far. Does it have a nuke loaded? It does. This one is not loaded. And it looks like no efforts for artillery yet for Team 1. That is still a pigeon. I feel like that's been a pigeon not being built for a while now. And then nothing over here. So realistically, it's nukes for Team 1 with land units versus Team 2's artillery pieces. And now we see a FAF war being chased by Colossi, but there's Perseus, and the Perseus have been shifted northward. They probably have to be shifted southward. Nuke is outbound. He's going for another artillery piece. Where's the Nuke going? And the northeast side of things, Hybrid 2001 teleports in and assassinates Clip My Wings. Nice grab there. There's not that many pigeons next to him. He does drop into the yellow. He is already initiated his teleportation. Nice grab there. Again, in a game with this many Cyberns, like I said, it would be a surprise if we didn't see any. And he doesn't. Oh, he doesn't complete his teleport. That's weird. Looked like he was going to finish it, but okay. And the Colossi are in range of the artillery piece. They don't walk far enough. The Perseus have already killed one of them off. Ravagers have been built to defend. And the Colossi are not going to make it. And Nuke will land over here. Kaboom! Wiping out the base here for Team 2. So who is that? That is... who was that? Darsan. And then Hypothesis 1 is eliminated by the man with beans. Though he does not get out of there. It looked like he was going to get out of there in time, but I guess not. And the Colossi does not kill off the artillery piece. It's barely alive. Needs to get a shield on there. If not, 8, 10, 30 of them. Spam GCs and go into Nico base. Says, clip my wings. We're trying to offer some advice from beyond the grave. Grab in the east. Going to get stopped by some restorers. And now it is turned, like I said, to an artillery versus land battle at this point. Lots of missile ships online for Team 1's. Man with beans. Still got plenty of time in the game to see who ends up winning this thing. The replay is about an hour. I mean, that's almost on the dot, I think, in terms of the replay time. It just said 1 hour, so that could be 1 hour, 30 seconds, 1 hour, 1 second. You know, or maybe not 30 seconds, but you get my point. Grab has been defeated. Second one is not feeling super well, and those missiles raining in, not a good assistance in that regard. There are 2 megawatts, though, here for not Son of Ibis. That's Son of Ibis is chicken. But those megawatts for CM Nicholas. Grab is actually out of the water just enough for that chicken to target it, or the chicken's out of the water just enough. The Grab is focusing on the battleship. I think he should be focusing on the chicken. In my regard, the Crab over here probably will not make it back home. There is a lot of AA. The restorers are kind of following it, but not really. But even if they kill it, Team 2 could scoop up the reclaim, and of course they have lots of reclaim down here to scoop up. Second artillery piece is done for Blarg. And he needs more pigeons. It looks like it's targeting the base for Son of Ibis now. There's an artillery piece that's just been started. Looks like there was a PD attempt, but that got kind of denied. Nuke is loaded, says man with beans. Yep, it is loaded. Nuke over here has been denied. Looks like some artillery had some fun over here, so they took out that nuke. So Team 1 still has a nuke, but not 2 of them like they once did. And those missile ships, like I said, have a long range. They're not infinite, of course, but where is one of them? I want to see what the exact range. It looks like they can grab pretty much the entire base for CM Nicholas once belonging to Hyper 2001. Crab not going to be built in time. That chicken has full range. The Crab ignores the chicken and went for the naval units. Of course, there is the missile ships. He's already taken one of them out, but this base for CM Nicholas is going to go down. It's going to be a very, very good base kill here for Team 1. I mean, there's nothing defending this thing at this point. Another artillery piece online here for CM Nicholas. He has now 2. And Blarg has 2, soon to be working on his 3rd. And that chicken, look at this thing, just doing tons and tons of damage. Actually targeting the Crab, making sure that thing doesn't get built. But even if it did, it's severely wounded. The Crab is coming out of the water. It's coming back home. We see the one from Darth Sand inbound to assist. So maybe it'll be enough to distract the chicken long enough to have some assistance. But look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. T3 mix is fully ringed. The Crab immediately, not immediately, but immediately turns and stands up and shoots and immediately gets denied. All of the engineers get killed off. And it does allow the Crab to come in. It needs to keep moving, though. The chicken will move out of range. Oh, and there goes the mass fabs. Oh, that's not great. Move, chicken, says man with beans. And that's another mechs down. Those mass fabs down here, that's going to be a devastating loss. Look at all the P-gens. Look at all the mass fabs. And it hits the wreck. The chicken turns around. It doesn't continuing after the mass fabs. Goes after the SMD. That's going to cement the win here for Team 1 in this little section of the map. The nuke will come in, wipe everything else out. But great grab. Again, the chicken probably could have been a lot better, not focusing on the crab, focusing on everything else. Would have wiped out the entire base anyways. But, you know, you could always send a nuke in and do that job for you anyways. And again, there's an argument for both. But at a minimum, for Team 1, the nuke will land. It'll take out the everything. Maybe you wait till the chicken's ion storm will be finished and then send the nuke in so you know exactly where to launch it. Probably right over here. You're not going to get everything. You're going to get almost everything. There's the nuke. It's going to land right next to the wreck. It'll kill off a lot of the mass reclaim as well. So it'd be just a devastating loss for Team 2. Team 1 heavily in the lead for Eco now. 2.3 versus 1.2. And it's essentially role reversal at that point. Not a great scenario. More chickens running around for Son of Ibis, taking out Darth Sand's remaining forces. It's essentially CM Nicholas and Blarg versus everybody else on Team 1. Team 2 does have 5 artillery pieces, so that is nothing to scoff at. 3 of them are almost fully ringed. 1 of them is fully ringed with P-gens. 1 over here is almost fully ringed, and 1 is half, so there's a lot of attack power coming out of Team 2. And here comes the nuke. Kaboom! Doesn't actually wipe out as much as I thought would be wiped out. I mean, this P-gen mass fab farm is fine. Or, sorry, yeah, P-gen, yeah. And then the mechs are eliminated over there. The chickens are moving in. There is no... actually, there is a way to actually get onto this section of the map for Nicholas. So those chickens do have an avenue of attack. They have to go all the way around. It might be enough. Team 1 Jester is not going to cut it. The monkeys are going to help. There's also Colossus inbound. So it's just not a good day for Team 2. They're just getting hit on almost all sides, except for Blarg, who's relatively just being ignored at this point. He's getting some satellites online. That will force attention his way, though. It will not help. And this base here for Son of Ibis is just not... It's not going to live much longer. There's 5 artillery pieces shooting at it, or there were at least. And it looks like the artillery from Team 2 is targeting this nuke, which is almost loaded, so probably a good thing to go after. Colossus inbound takes out one of the monkeys, but one of the Colossi are dead. The second monkey's now down. Gestures are not going to be enough. You need something with a little bit more punching power. The flak will be more than enough to deal with it. I mean, again, the flak is not worth much for the chickens, but it's enough to take out Team 1 bombers, so Gestures are going to be essentially the same thing. We do see Darth Sands over here. SMD has been rebuilt. Missile ships constantly raining in shots over here. Team 1 has not suffered a lot of direct damage in terms of losing of base stuff, in terms of, you know... Oh, but that donut going down is not helpful. What I mean by that is there's no crabs in Team 1's base. There's no monkeys or anything. Just the teleportation from Hyper 2001. It's mainly been indirect damage with artilleries and whatnot. Airfight happens over the top of Team 2. Team 2 will win that fight. But the chickens found another way out, but I didn't even notice the one over here to the west. This is a dead base for CM Nicholas. Doesn't even matter. And there go the artilleries. They're both down. The air grid's about to go down. Actually, he finished that one off. That's unfortunate. We had a third one online. He's lost 4 artillery pieces so far. Not great for Team 2. CM Nicholas, just he builds artillery and he loses it. Builds artillery and loses it. Just not a good day for him. And he's still in the game, but he's severely kneecapped by the amount of damage and mass income and all of that. The Darth Sand sitting at essentially 1-2 mass per second. CM Nicholas still at 300 and Blarg at 400. While we have Man with Beans at 800 and Doulaha at 600 as well. So the numbers are heavily favoring Team 1 at this point. The artillery, though, from Blarg might be enough to chew through this. The shielding is being regen very quickly by the assisting engineers. They can't assist the loading of the nuke, but at least they can save the nuke. Missile ships raining in. Not going to be a fun day here for CM Nicholas's now main base. And then everything else to the west. Essentially, it's probably just going to be Blarg, the last man standing for Team 2. I'll predict it now, just because we see a monkey chasing Darth Sand. And CM Nicholas was over here. I don't know where he went. Oh, he's in the base up here to the north. He's going after Son of Ibis' comm. Son of Ibis being shot by some Team 1 torp launchers. That's not a fun time for him. He does have laser and teleportation. So if somebody of his walks out of the land, he could teleport, catch up to him, and kill him that way. T2 Torp Bombers are inbound, and I think everybody knows where this is going. Unfortunately, CM Nicholas are going to try to teleport out of there. I don't think it'll be enough. Oh, it's going to be close. Oh, will you survive the first pass? No, you won't. And Son of Ibis. Oh, 3,000 hit points. 2,000 hit points. Oh, it's going to be close. 1,000 hit points. 1,500. He needs to get on land, but he should barely be out of range. Oh, but he gets him anyways. Oh, it is a murder-suicide here. CM Nicholas gets the kill from beyond the grave. Nice little martyrdom there. It says he controlled Cade. I don't believe that. I mean, he was being killed by torpedoes, so that is definitely a kill for CM Nicholas. Donut online for Team 1, so thing to point out there. And Darth Sand still being chased by that monkey load, I will admit. And that might be a kill. Another one for Team 1. It is now a 2v2 game tied up once again. And it looks like the artillery were tasked on to actually going after Son of Ibis. That nuke is somehow still alive. And it's halfway loaded to a second one. It has given Team 1 time to build up more shielding, and another donut has barely been started over there. The Dulaha ACU says clipped in. Yeah. Oh. I mean, he doesn't have cloaking. And the monkey completely just ignoring him. And Smithers like, hey, look at the pings. look at them all. Another overturn. Will he survive? I'm gonna watch this. This is gonna be close. Oh, he survives. Oh, he should not have survived that. That was oof. I mean, it happens. You know, it happens. You're focused on, going for, he has his donut over here. He's building all this stuff and sending units over. He's doing a lot of stuff, and he's just distracted. So, unfortunate. Darsan did take a hit, but it would be obviously more realistic, obviously, if he had cloaking. It would have been an excuse, like, well, he had cloaking, you couldn't see him anyway, and the mother monkey died. But anyway, just so many pings. With this conversation in chat about whatnot. There is a crab underneath the surface of the water, and there is a Colossus, chicken, and Colossus for Team 1. And I think that that donut has a target in mind. To the west, satellite spam still underway, but it looks like he's focusing on FAF, where he's constructed 2 of them already. He has his, again, just regenning his 3rd Duke. Torp bombers maybe tried to find the comm over here, but he's not over there. He's actually sitting next to all of his stuff. All of the mass being sent to Darth Sand. The problem that I'm seeing here for Team 2 is they just don't have the land units or the air units. They don't have any units. They have artillery and satellites. That's it. That's all they got. And in a drawn-out battle like this, even if Team 1 were to lose everything in terms of structures, it looks like the artillery is still tasked on to shooting this. He's not over there. I don't know. There's no desync. We haven't seen a desync message there, so it can't be that. Maybe he's just deciding to go for something. He's going for Nuke, and I'm actually playing it -2, so actually it's a lot faster than I think it is. But the crab has been defeated. Looks like he killed off the chicken, though. It's going to just be a clean swipe way left for Team 1's Dulaha. Just come in and just go mow everything down going westward. We do see the satellite overhead. I don't know when he's targeting. Now he's targeting naval units and structures. The artillery pieces looks like they transferred targets. As much as, yeah, it'd be good to take out the things producing the missile ships, they're not that effective to where he is. This is the, like I said, this is the range on him. Even if they get right here, they can get to maybe about there, which isn't really worth it. It's better to just control K them and scoop up the mass and put them into something else. So maybe he's trying to target the comm underneath the surface of the water, but he's way too, I mean, he's pretty far down there. A nuke would have to be the only thing that would kill him. Now, if he takes out all the SMDs around him and then goes after the comm, that would work. But to be fair, Team 1's remaining commanders are in the water. So there could be a scenario where both of them die. I highly doubt it. You know, with a 2 players left situation, don't stand near the other player. Be as far away as possible. 6 feet and then some, essentially, would be the phrase that I would give for that. And then there, of course, are Colossi and other experimentals still running around for Team 1. Team 2 has the FAF Warriors. They're producing more satellites. So the FAF Warriors, of course, for keeping the land forces back. The air units are going to be more of a concerning matter. He doesn't have any power, though, so probably... Yeah, he's going to fix that now. Probably should put it more over there. You don't want to put it over here because that puts it more in range or closer to range for the missile ships. The T3 naval headquarters, at least 2 of them are down. You're not going to get the con. Even if he does a little bit of damage, it's not going to be enough. There is a Scathus underneath the surface, which is maybe what he's trying to target, and I've been ignoring the entire time. But he can't... I mean, they can see something's down there if they look close enough, but the AoE, of effect on that artillery is not enough. Like, it's not wide enough. You need a nuke, which he is loading. So I wonder where it's going. Nuke, get out of the water, says Smithers. He will nuke Scathus. Unlucky, leave it, says Clip My Wings. So everybody on Team 1 saying he's just going to nuke it, just get out of there, which I don't blame him. I would do that. Fat Boy's moving into where monkeys are going. Not a good idea, even if there are 3 of them. Oh, well, there goes that. Oh, that's a lot of damage to the monkey, though. Wow, that was a lot of damage very quickly from those monkey lloids. I was actually kind of surprised. What are you building? Are you building flak? You're building flak. Okay. Not pigeons, but shields back offline. Really needs to get that shield or power situation sorted. Colossus inbound, and that's not gonna go very well. Not gonna be enough. Nicholas spots the comm of the man with beans. Satellites are inbound. The Scathus has been abandoned. Very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. But like I said, I feel like, yeah, you took out all the engineers hovering hovering on the water, but I just don't think it was worth the time. You could have gone after bases. You could have gone after other PGens. You could have gone after the nuke again. The Liberator has 2 nukes loaded. The Donut is inbound. I wonder what the thing's going to target at this point. Start salvo, probably. He doesn't have range with arties. Yeah, the arties are out of range there. So, Salvation, yeah. ASF, some of them still online for Dart Sand. Looks like they're going to go for the Donut. The Donut will take some damage. If the laser does activate, it'll actually save it a little bit. Nope, doesn't activate. Donut does go down. Yep, it was going to be close. But Nuke is outbound. He's going to probably nuke the Scathus. I mean, that's what I would nuke just to make sure it's dead. Satellite dies anyways, so again, not a good place to put it. And it's going to go for the comm. The comm isn't moving. Oh, no, the comm isn't moving for Team 1's Beans. If he doesn't move, now he's going to be a dead man, and he's going to get on a transport. Is he going to get picked up in time? Oh, pick up is what he's saying. Pick up transport. Is going to get shot down. You're not going anywhere, and it lands too short. Kaboom. Oh, he tried to predict where he was going to go, and he doesn't predict where he was going to go. He's going to get on the transport, but it gets denied anyways. Unfortunate. There are, of course, a couple of bricks over here, but Percy's are going to wipe that up pretty quickly. There are, of course, that Colossus down here. That might be enough, though. And the Donut here to the south is another one. Team 2 has run out of ASFs. Twitchy says do it. He's talking about control king and all this stuff. But the artillery doesn't have shielding. Oh, the pigeons. No, the pigeons. Oh, it's not great. Need to get that power situation sorted. There goes the first of the 3 artillery pieces. Donuts don't have shielding. Nothing has shielding. Dorsan over here to come to assist. Colossus is down. The Donut is down. One of the Fat Boys is down. Oh, it's going to clip the other pigeon. It takes out another artillery piece. Another nuke is outbound from Team 1. The SMD is not dead. It will be fine. There's another donut to the north, though, from the man with beans. It's running into a lot of flak. That's a lot of flak. Ooh. Oh, it's going to land on top of some hives and maybe... Nope, doesn't kill the Novaks. Team 2's Blarg is still alive, but it's turned into a survival match at this point. Nuke is outbound from multiple different locations. Oh, the SMD gets fired again. Oh, it fires another. Oh, that's rough. It misses twice, technically. What is up with SMDs lately? They keep doing that. And the comm of Darsan is not going to be having a fun time. Another nuke outbound. The donut is inbound. It's going to go for crash damage. It's probably going to get the nuke eliminated. It's going to get the SMD. Oh, is it going to fire? Oh, Blarg. Oh, no. Oh, the SMD is down. That's it. That's game. Darsan is eliminated. Nuke is inbound. Ooh, that is... It was a close game, but Team 1 eked it out just barely. Another nuke outbound. Is that from Team 2? I think that was from Team 2. Yep, there's Team 2's nuke. Kaboom! There goes the comm. It fired off the last salvo at the last second. But Team 1 wins the game. Another nuke outbound. Must have been all the... They're firing them from this direction. All the engineers over here. Where are the... There's got to be nukes. Where are the nuke subs? I literally don't see it. I don't see the nuke subs. Why don't I see the nuke subs? They came from this direction. There's no way they built a nuke silo over here. That doesn't make sense. I literally don't see them. Where? I don't know. I'm being distracted by nuke subs. Anyway, let me know down in the comments where your favorite moment of the video was. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. If you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. MVP for me... I don't really have one just because there wasn't. I mean, Hyperdon's the one's teleport was nice to see. Dart Sand somehow surviving a monk. Obviously, we knew how he survived the Monkey Lord, but still seeing that. I don't think there was really a standoutish player from anybody on either team. Realistically, had Team 2 won, I would have probably given it to Blarg just because he was, the last player pretty much left standing at that point. But since Team 1 won, I really don't know who to give it to. I don't know where those nuke subs are. I mean, they look like they'd be right there, but there's so many engineers. And it doesn't look like they're... Well, I guess not. I literally don't see them anywhere. Yeah. Oh, no. That's again, a missile ship. Missile ships don't have nukes, so... Yeah, they have to be coming from from nuke subs down there. I just don't see them. Oh, there it is. There's one right here. Okay, there it is. Like, it's around there somewhere. It's staring at me in the face. Probably because I expected it to be orange and it was pink. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Again, apologies for my distractions and sidetracking and whatnot. And I will see all of you in the next one.